Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and then you leave the conversation and you just feel like you're carrying so much heaviness? Like you feel drained. You almost feel like you were attacked by someone else's energy. Okay, now let me tell you what just happened there. You were probably having a conversation with someone who's carrying a lot of anger. And when people are carrying anger, usually they don't know what to do with it. So what they do is they throw it and project it on other people. And you didn't realize what was happening. You picked it up, you're carrying it. And what happened was not just an emotional thing that took place. No, it was a spiritual thing because anger is a soul toxin. So now you're feeling drained. You're carrying that energy. And that is not just a physical thing that's happening. Oh, no, no, no. This now has the potential to be a health problem for you. Let's talk about it. So, in a situation like this, your nervous system is always looking for someplace to feel safe. Because when you're with someone who's angry all the time, when they can go from 0 to 100, when the smallest thing can set them off, they're always yelling, they're always blaming, they're always raging out, judging people, exploding. And how could you possibly feel safe in that environment? Now, some of you out here, you grew up in a household where that person I'm describing, that was a parent. It could have been your father who, never could see the good in you, was always having problems at work or having problems in life, and they took it out on their child. Maybe it was a mother, the same thing. You're constantly being criticized, constantly being judged. Nothing was ever good enough for this person. And unfortunately, you never felt safe in your body. Or maybe you grew up like this, but now you are in a work culture where the boss, I did for many years when I lived in Chicago, I worked in a work culture where my boss was constantly angry. Everything will set this person off. And it seems like I was, unfortunately, the person who was on the receiving end of that kind of anger. And because of my own issues that I was going through, having to navigate this environment, my stress was out the roof. My cortisol levels went up. And as you hear me talk about this all the time, guys, when your cortisol goes up, your body goes down. So, some of the things you might be experiencing when you're in this kind of environment where you have an angry person that you're coping with because you're walking on eggshells all the time, you may have a hard time sleeping at night because that anger is in your nervous system. You may even have some stomach issues because a lot of times when we are feeling unsettled or we're not feeling safe, you start having constipation issues, or you start feeling that really weird sensation when you pull up to work, or if you pull up to your driveway and you're ready to go in the house. It's like, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to be bothered with this person. Again, because you feel unsafe. You may even start feeling some headaches, like some migraine headaches. That's your body telling you, hey, this is not a good environment for you to be in. I don't want you here. Or even if it's not headaches, you might start feeling some inflammation in your body because as that cortisol goes up, that hormone that lets you know that I'm in this fight or flight state, and right now I'm warning you. And some of these warning signs may even be heart disease symptoms like high blood pressure. You know, you're coping in a dangerous environment. This is not just a toxic relationship that you're having. Now, what's happening is you're developing toxic patterns in your body, and it can easily lead to some health challenges. So, let me share a quick story. And I know many of you can identify with this. How many of you know someone who lives with an angry spouse? I know someone who lived with an angry spouse, and this person wasn't physically violent, but verbally and emotionally was just unhinged, verbally and emotionally violent, not only to her, but to the children. And they kind of lived in an atmosphere where she was constantly walking on eggshells. She was afraid of making a mistake because he would go off, or was always tiptoeing around conversations because at any point in time, again, this person was didn't know what to do with their anger, wouldn't own the fact that they were angry. And so she just had to bear with it. So eventually, she started having some chest pains because living in this kind of unsafe environment, this was someone who was kind of sensitive in their spirit. This wasn't, the type of person that was argumentative, but again, just trying to cope with someone that this is how they operated. So, needless to say, because she had been going through this for years and years, she began to pick up a lot of weight and couldn't seem to get it off because, again, cortisol, when it increases, what begins to happen is we start picking up weight around our midsection. She started having migraine headaches, couldn't sleep at night. And so when she started having chest pain, she went to the ER. Um, and, after her body had gone through this for years and she was, living in this toxic environment, she eventually left. Now, when she left, I just remember her telling me, I can finally breathe again because that's what it feels like when you release yourself from being in a toxic work environment or living in a toxic environment where you have anger that is the ruling force there. And that wasn't just a metaphor. Her body was literally exhaling the soul toxins of anger. Now, here's what you have to be aware of: people who are angry, people who behave like this, where they go from 0 to 100 and they project all of their anger on you. Most of the time, these people aren't even self aware, and you're not there to fix them. Okay. But what you are here to do is to protect your peace because these people suffer from deep soul wounds. And oftentimes, what's keeping them in a state of anger is that they're comfortable with being angry. They're comfortable with being angry because most of the time they're ruled by the spirit of pride. Now, let me tell you how pride works. When pride is at the center of one's life, they can't see the truth, which means they cannot take responsibility. They can't hear the truth, which means oftentimes they're going to blame you or turn it around like you're the reason why they're going off. So you can't help a person like that, not unless they want to be helped. But what you can do and what you must do, because anger is such a lethal soul toxin, you must protect your peace and you must find a way to remove yourself from their storm. That is their storm. And every time they get to a point where that storm becomes so uncomfortable for them, they're going to find a way to throw it on you. So, radical self love is the answer. Soul health is the solution. Now, I have a really important question, and I need you to be truly honest with yourself. Who is this person or this place or this environment that you're working in where you feel small, where you feel scared, where you feel sick, where your soul is telling you, this ain't it, this is not for me, or your body is giving you all kinds of warning signs where you can hardly sleep at night, or you always feeling, mentally you're feeling tortured or emotionally you're feeling sick. Look, I've been there. And the first thing I want you to do is put your hands over your heart right now. And I want you to say to yourself, I choose peace. Say it again. I choose peace. And if this is resonating with you right now, this is so important because this could definitely be the blessing that you've been praying for, the answer to what your next steps are. If you haven't done so by now, please make sure you subscribe to Soul Health with Nurse Blue. And what I'm going to do, sweetheart, in this situation, I'm going to live up to my name. I'm going to build you. I'm going to love you and teach you what radical self love is about. I'm going to unite you with the parts of your soul that has been torn apart by this situation. And I'm going to empower you about how to take care of yourself when you are living and existing with bullies in your life, with living and existing in toxic environments, and you're afraid to leave because this is your work environment. Nothing is more important than your health. The second step I want you to take is click the link, and I want you to schedule a time for a I Deserve Joy consultation, because you deserve joy. And what you're living in right now is so much anxiety and fear. Joy cannot even come near you right now. But I've been there. I've been there more than one time. And I had to choose peace. So I know what you're going through. And if you are somebody right now that you know someone that this is their story, please pass this video on, share it with a friend, share it with a member of your church, share it with a co-worker, share it with a client, because you might be saving somebody's life right now. You know, a lot of times we're so used to struggle, we're so used to coping in toxicity that we don't even know what peace is. But there are people out here that are dying every single day from heart disease and all kinds of problems related to stress, because this is their everyday reality. They're taking this abuse at home, they're taking this abuse at work. And then, as you know, they try to get away from, they have friends and stuff that they're spewing their anger on them, family members, and it's just not fair for people to for that people don't even understand that these are soul health conditions that are showing up in their body, and it is setting them up for a major health crisis. So if this is something that you can relate to, or you know someone that needs this information right now, please pass this on, click the link, get on my calendar. It is a free I Deserve Joy consultation. So you have nothing to lose but this angry environment that you're existing in right now. Okay. All right, guys. So that's it. That's all for me today. And if you want more information about how to live your best life by defeating soul toxins, if you want to know what soul health is all about, I'm also going to post the link to my free community, the Soul Health and Wellness Club. If you're looking for natural ways to reverse challenges in your life by taking your life back, taking your soul back from all of these harmful toxins out here that's coming against your peace, coming against your joy, coming against the life that you have, that you deserve, and you need some help, I'm here for you. Okay. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye bye.